Welcome to Roundtable Talk 5.0. And the topic we're considering this evening, the 11th of July 2021, is Stuck in the Mud, What Next? Stuck in the Mud, What Next? And tonight I'm very, very excited about this month's edition, being that we have somebody very special. And I think when I read her profile, I kind of liked her profile, being the fact that literally I was just saying to my team that I guess it's like she's a pilot, all right? Let's start with that. She's a pilot, and surprisingly and interestingly, she's from a family of pilots. So I said to my team, it almost looks like as if this lady has lived her life all in the air. I guess she was born in the air, she grew up in the air and all that. Just very, very funny anyway. But I think it will interest us to note that she's from a family of pilots. Her parents are pilots, and she is a pilot as well. Also, to add to that, she has been called to the Nigeria Bar Association, so she's a barrister as well. So join me as I welcome pilot Atinuke. Atinuke, if you're there, just say hi to everyone. We'll bring you on board very, very shortly. We'll be diving into the conversation very shortly. All right, just say hi to everyone, Atinuke.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. Welcome. And thank you for joining us this evening. We're glad to have you on board. I believe your story will inspire someone this evening. I'm very excited about tonight, and I'm particularly looking forward to hearing that story. Basically, on the roundtable talk, what we do is just to share the experiences of the guests that we bring on board. I believe when you learn from someone else's experience, right, you literally ride on the shoulders of those that have gone ahead of you, right? Yeah, so when you hear my story, right, basically what you do is you learn from the experience and you try not to make such mistakes, and you glean from the success story the successes I've made, and you tell yourself, okay, fine, if she can do this, why not? Definitely I myself can do it. I am very, very sure my daughter is listening to you. She's 7 years old, and I told her, you know what? I'm bringing a pilot on board, and she's excited, and I know she's listening right now. So I've given a bit of background of what we'll be talking about today. Stuck in the mud, what next? Literally, yes, we all, like I've always said, life is not, was never designed to be sweet. It was never designed to be sweet. You grab what you want to grab out of life. You make out what you want to make out of life, basically. So like I said earlier, we're having pilot Atinuke joining us this evening, and I'll just allow her introduce herself. Let's start from that. So Atinuke, please, can you say something about yourself?
Okay, awesome. Do you want me to share video or?
Yeah, you can go on. Yeah, fantastic. You can just go on. Let's see your face. I guess a lot of people want to see you. Oh, great.
Good evening, everyone. Super humbled to be here. I'm in my house. It's kind of obvious, but yeah, I'm really happy to spend this evening with you. My names are Atinuke Stanley Pepple. I'm married to Stanley Pepple, who happens to be a pilot as well. So my dad's a pilot, my husband's a pilot, my sister is a pilot, and my brother is a pilot as well, but one of my siblings isn't. So, I mean, that's not really important as far as this conversation is concerned exactly, and I'll explain that over time. But a little background on me, I'm a pilot, commercial airline pilot. I fly for one of the airlines in Nigeria, and I have a background in law. But why this is really important to me, and it's not even really about the numbers. Honestly, when you started talking, I just connected. It's like the vision you have with doing this aligns with why certain things have happened to me in my life and why I'm here today, actually. What is most important to me is that the lives that are living right now, certain things that I have gone through in life, you don't have to go through it. And I mean, that's why it's important that we all share our success stories, as well as the challenges, that we have had in life in general. And what I am most passionate about, I'm definitely passionate about the law and flying. But deep down inside me, I'm very passionate about youth. I've seen a lot of youth, give up on life because of certain challenges that they've gone through that I've also gone through. A lot of people who have attained certain success today have gone through the challenges that youths are going through now, but even up because they don't know, those little things that will keep them going. So once again, I'm very, very grateful to be here. Thank you, Tosin. Thank you to your wonderful host, Jonah. And I'm super excited about today's session. Thank you.
All right, great. So thank you for that introduction. That would just lead us right into why we're here this evening. Now, we're talking about being stuck in the mud. The question is that comes to mind literally is, have you ever been stuck in the mud? Now, when we talk about being stuck in the mud, it will literally mean anything. It will mean anything. Basically, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I believe that, right, from the stories that we share here, you can learn one or two things to help you improve yourself, to help you move ahead and above and beyond those challenges that we face in life. That's basically why we're doing this. And if I'm looking at where I've been and to where I am now, definitely I can share some stories of where I just got to a point, and guess what? I was just asking myself, how did I get here? What do I need to do to move on? And I believe that's what we'll be talking about this evening. And the first question I'd like to throw out to you will be, there are some things that are unavoidable in life. For instance, it is believed that life isn't always rosy. Hence, it is wise to prepare for difficult times. But the irony of life is we really do not know when difficult times will ever come. True. Yeah, definitely. When you want to write an exam, there's always a timetable, but life has no timetable. There's no timetable for challenges. So you can literally just wake up this morning and you're faced with a mess and you're wondering, oh, not today. Yes, it happens to everybody. So first question I would like to throw out to you will be, do you think that being stuck is one of such difficulties to expect in life? If yes, which I definitely believe the answer is yes, how does one prepare for it?
Okay, so can you say that part again? Do I think that being stuck?
Do you think that being stuck is one of such difficulties to expect in life? If yes, how does one prepare for it?
Okay, so what I want to say is about being stuck is the word stuck technically means a situation where you can't move forward. Now, I can say I'm stuck at the airport. I'm stuck in Nigeria because I can't leave Nigeria. So being stuck is an inevitable part of life. It doesn't, like you said, being stuck can mean anything absolutely. You're stuck in traffic. You're stuck at a position at work. You're stuck with a particular person in an elevator. Being stuck is inevitable. But then in regards to this particular topic today and this purpose for our discussion today, I want us to think deeper in regards to life. Now, a stuck situation is almost inevitable, almost, and this is where I'm coming from. Because we can't control the events that happen to us, but how we respond to those events is what will inevitably change the definition of what being stuck is. Yeah. And I'll say this by I had an experience. I'll tell you something that happened to me while I was doing my flight training. So before you can become a pilot, you have to do this training. I don't know, I haven't put this information on the internet, but it's good that I do this for transparency and to encourage somebody out there. Now, you may not be in the same industry, but a lot of times, I'm quite public per se. Like I have an identity on the internet, there's Instagram, but a lot of people don't see the other sides, what it took. It's so nice to hear, oh, she's a lawyer, she's a pilot, she's very fancy and nice, but there were certain things that I had to go through to become that person today, and I'm still very much on my journey. Like I was saying, I was doing my training and I started my training going well, but then I started some challenges that I couldn't explain. And these challenges were, it seemed like I wasn't moving forward, like we have a perception where you go to primary school, primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, primary 4, if you do primary 5, then move, that life is supposed to go a certain way. But when that's not happening, you start feeling like, okay, I'm stuck here, what's going on? So during my training, I I started very well, but certain things weren't just going the way I had expected. So I really felt stuck. And I had a dream. I had a dream where I had to ask God, I was like, God, I don't understand what's going on. I'm putting in my best efforts. I'm doing everything that it seems like I'm supposed to do. So what's happening here? And in that dream, I was on a journey in a truck, a white Hilux truck, and I had gone through a bridge. Now that bridge, I'll explain why I'm telling you this dream. So on that bridge, I saw a lot of ladies, but I had driven past them. So I heard a voice tell me, go back to where you're coming from and pick up those ladies. Now, this dream, I probably had it maybe more than 5 years ago. I didn't understand what it really meant until when I got it, because it really was just me, God saying, I'm allowing you to go to this situation, allowing you to go to those situations. And this is for anybody who is feeling stuck in life in general. God has a purpose for that season in your life. It's just like, you must have thought, or it may have looked like he was stuck when he was in the prison. It could have looked like he was stuck when he was in Potiphar's house, but that was a season, and it was a season for building his character, building his integrity, building certain things, his skills, his perseverance, his resilience, his strength, his loyalty to what he believes in life. So like I said, after I had the dream, and Hassan, again, being that I'm family, the pilot and all of that. So it's very easy for people to, and I'm using that story to explain certain things. So now it could be a doctor now, maybe there's an expectation to go a certain way, based on society, or a lady, for example, you're supposed to be married at a certain time. So your definition stuck in this scenario is in relation to what society is, and it's very easy to say, oh, well, I feel stuck here. What am I going to do? These situations or these narratives are almost inevitable. But what you now do in that situation is what defines you. You can't control if, for example, you're at work and then there's a particular person that doesn't want you to pass a certain level. You can't control that. They said, for example, people were stuck in certain countries during COVID. That's a situation where you can't control. But what you inevitably do in that time is what binds you. That's my answer to the question.
All right. Thank you very much for starting off with that story. Now, as you spoke, something ran through my mind. Now, a couple of months ago, a mentor of mine, yes, let me use the word mentor, use the word building emotional capacity. And as you were speaking, that just came up again in my, it just ran through my mind, literally. And what does building emotional capacity literally means? Now, basically, right, like we rightly agreed, right, that the challenges of life does not have any form of timetable, right? So it could come at any point in time. Now, if you do not build sufficient capacity to handle challenges, when it comes, it basically overwhelms you. Now, it basically overwhelms you if you do not build sufficient capacity. So the question now we might literally want to ask will now be, right, how do I build emotional capacity? Now, I wouldn't want to go into that because that is a topic for another day, but I just want our listeners to just know that in life, right, for you to be able to handle emotional challenges, there's what we call building emotional capacity. Now, our focus today is on Atinuke and not on me, so I'm not going to be stealing the show, right? So basically, if I can glean anything from what you've said, basically is you basically prepare to respond. It's not, challenges will definitely come, but it is how you respond to it that matters. Are we on the same page? Fantastic.
Yes,
it's how you respond to it that matters. So practically, now, can you just share steps? Can we say, okay, what are those practical steps we can take to get out of a muddy looking situation? Are there steps we can take? I'm stuck in my career. I remember when I literally moved from one job to another, and it seemingly looked like, yes, I was doing the right thing. Apparently, when I got into the new environment, 4 months down the line, I had to leave. I was glad I left. I was happy there was an open door for me to leave, but the 4 months was hell. I was literally stuck. And you know how it is trying to change jobs here. So question is, how do you get out of a muddy looking situation?
Thank you very much for that question. I would like to define certain things here. And when I was thinking about this topic, the word quagmire kept on to me. So I went in, I checked the meaning of a quagmire. So I don't want to read the definition. I want to explain it. So basically, it's kind of like a muddy situation. But the key thing is that it's almost like the more you try to come out, the more you go in. So that's the kind of analogy that I want to use in this situation. Because there are people who are in stuck situations, and it's not like they're not doing anything, but it seems like the more they try, the worse the situation gets. So the first thing you want to do if you're feeling stuck is to analyze the situation. The first thing is to calm down, relax. Don't panic, don't get overwhelmed, just relax. Okay, this is what's going on. Then analyze the situation. Now, why are you stuck? Are you stuck because it's self-imposed? It's a belief. And if it's self-imposed, it might be a belief that you think you're actually stuck, but you're not. Are you stuck because there's somebody at your workplace that doesn't want you to go beyond the level that you are? Are you stuck because of something that is happening in the world, like COVID, that you can't actually control? So first, analyze the situation and know why you're stuck. Now, once you analyze that, it's easy for you to know the steps to take. So for example, if it's a self-imposed situation, you now know, okay, well, maybe I need to change my beliefs. Maybe I need to change my perspective. Maybe I need to work on myself. Maybe I need to build, like you said, emotional intelligence. It's funny you mentioned that because I was talking to somebody, I think a couple of days ago, and she asked me some questions. And the truth is that everything that has actually happened in my life, I have a very positive feeling. And this is a genuine feeling I have now, like you said, emotional intelligence, because I don't think that anything happens against me. I think it happens for me. So I already put the person if it's coming from somebody, I already put the person at a loss, because it doesn't matter what you do to me, I'm going to make it work out for me. So for example, if I had a delay, I'm going to use that. It's just like the Kardashians, and I'm not, I know some people do not like them, and I'm not promoting any lifestyle. But one thing about them that I've seen over time is it doesn't matter what happens to them. It doesn't matter what they do. They know how to maximize and make that situation profitable. So I don't care what your scenario is, and I say this with all love and respect. You may feel stuck in marriage. You may feel stuck with a person that you don't want to be with in a relationship. You may feel stuck in your career, but analyze the situation. Are you stuck because you are doing something wrong? Are you stuck because it's somebody? If it's somebody else, then you know that, okay, I can't handle this person, but I can change my direction. So do you now want to leave that career? That's one thing. You could choose to leave. You could choose to stay there and be patient, but don't be idle. Start doing, and that's what I did. Me, for one, when COVID happened, my industry was one of the majorly hit industries. But during that period, I started thinking, okay, what do I do? How can I use this situation to work out for my good? And I said, okay, you know what? You like to talk. Why don't you go on Instagram Live? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And I didn't know everything. I still don't know everything. But the main thing is to start, to take action. First thing, analyze the situation. Second thing, relax. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself in the sense that, okay, if this situation is self-imposed, what is it that I can do differently? If, for example, you feel stuck with an employer that is really rude and disrespectful, that doesn't respect your feelings, maybe go and read a book on bullying. That was one thing God told me to do. Go and read up a book on bullying, because you can't control how that person is treating you. I'm stuck with this employer. I can't remove him. I'm not in the position to actually remove, so I'm technically stuck with that person. But I'm not stuck with how I react to that situation. I'm not stuck with how I'm going to feel in this situation. I'm going to build my emotional intelligence and assert myself in certain situations where I can't control. You're stuck with the people that you want them. And everybody can't like you too, you know, you're stuck with those people. But you're not stuck with how you're going to feel. You have to make that decision every single morning before you go to work. Okay, you know what? Maybe some people are stuck in Nigeria because maybe they have tried times without number to apply to get Canadian immigration papers or American visas, and all of that did not work. So you technically feel like you're stuck in Nigeria, but you're not stuck with how you feel. I lost a very, I don't even know, I didn't want to mention this before, but I actually lost a very close friend of mine in February, and I had no control over that. I mean, this person died, you know. I had absolutely no control. But today, I can actually talk about this person and smile, because I can't change that event, but I can change my perspective on that person, because I know, okay, you know what? This person lived their life to the fullest. The very first thing, when any situation that you can't control happens, the first thing to do is relax, analyze the situation, and be honest with yourself. When you analyze the situation, and it seems like I'm saying this again, but I want you to be very, very clear. Analyze the situation, and then you can now think of the steps to take. If it's things you need to work on yourself, get books. When I felt stuck, for example, I started reading. I would go on YouTube and listen to something that would inspire me over and over and over. Because, okay, this situation, I can't change it, but I can change how I feel. I can change the energy that I'm giving to this situation. I can improve my knowledge about this situation. I can share my knowledge about this situation. I can impact and inspire somebody who is going through this situation. I can read books. I can go on conferences. That's something I started doing, Okay, I'm working in this office, but what else can I do? I can build my other skills. Okay, find out what other things are you good at? Or you may feel stuck in your business now. For example, you're getting a certain income, 5,000, or maybe, let me even say 1 million consistently, and you feel stuck, like your income, your profit is not growing. Okay, you know how they say, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So what do you need to do? Ask for help. Be humble. Don't say, well, I think I know it all. Nope. I am not too big to ask for help. You need to put that aside, because sometimes your vision is not about you. It's about the people that are around you. It's about the families that you're going to impact. It's about the people's lives that are connected. A lot of people don't understand that your life is beyond your career. It's your vision. There's a reason why you have gone through that, and everybody's situation is so unique, so unique. And there's something that you know that somebody else doesn't know. It might be cooking. It may be even being in a relationship. You may be very good with that. It may be keeping your house tidy. Some people are not good with that. Whatever it is that you feel stuck in your office, but you're not stuck. They're not stuck. I mean, okay, even people that are even stuck in prison, they have options. I've seen there's this I think the book is called, I'll try and remember the name of the book. This guy was stuck in prison, and he wrote a book when he came out. What he basically said was, I mean, this prison was, and I think that's even the worst situation you can actually be in, stuck in prison. But he's not stuck in his brain. They've kept him within those walls, but they can't decide what he's thinking in his mind. So no matter what situation.
Talking about the Stockdale paradox, the head of the Stockdale paradox.
Stockdale?
Yeah. Stockdale was a prisoner. Okay. Yeah, it's called the Stockdale paradox. Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
I didn't know that was what it was called, but there was this particular, I'll try and remember his name. I think the book is called Man's Search for Meaning. Exactly, that's the name of the book. And it's like I said earlier, it is not about the events. It is never, ever, ever. In fact, you can be stuck with the wrong partner. Let's go there. It can be in relationships, and you feel like you're stuck. Either you're dating the person or you're married to this person, and you feel like you can't change this person's. You technically can't change the person. You can only hope. And if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're complaining, you're nagging, you're making it. That's not the right thing to do. You need to change, and especially if you feel stuck and you're not getting the results you want, change your approach. Ask somebody who has the results in that area that you need help with to give you some light, and those are some few. I have a lot of things written down here, but I'll wait for I'll wait for the next question, to share more on that. So thank you. I'm so excited about this topic.
Thank you very much, Pilot. Okay, now interesting conversation there, right? You said a lot of things that actually blew my mind. Now you said, when you're in a muddy situation, the first thing you need to do is relax. And you see, most often at times we get tense. Life actually places this form of tension on us, and we get overwhelmed, we get sad, we get not so happy. Now, amidst all these emotions, your ability to be able to tell yourself, you know what, it's not the end of the world, right? What can I do about this? It's actually premium. It's a premium skill. Let me put it that way. Now, she said you relax, you analyze the situation, then be honest with yourself. I think ever since we started the roundtable talk, this is the second time our guest is talking about being honest with yourself, being true to yourself. It is, you see, the worst thing you can ever do to yourself is lie to yourself. That's the worst thing you can ever do to yourself. Lie, it is you, it is you. Just be honest with yourself. Now, there was something you said that struck, that just got my attention. You said, no matter what you do to me, I make it work for me. Absolutely profound. No matter what you do to me, I make it work for me. Now, you see, most often at times when you get stuck, right, it could be actually somebody else's undoing, or somebody, maybe it could be actually as a result of an external factor on you. It could be as a result of your boss, your spouse, your friend, whatever. However, she said, whatever you do to me, I make it work for me. That what does that mean? It means that I am in total control of the situation, and that is who you are. Fantastic. That's just so profound. In fact, I'm taking that home. Now, you also talked about yes, I was talking about the Stockdale paradox. You can Google that. Stockdale was if you've read the book Good to Great, right? Stockdale was I think was a prisoner of war, right? And while everybody, I think it was the Vietnam War, right? While everybody was saying at XYZ date, I know I'll be out of prison. By this date, I know I'll be out of prison. Stockdale was just telling himself, yes, I know I don't have a date in mind when I'll be out of prison, but I know someday I'll be out of here. And for everyone that fixed a particular date to when the challenge will be over, they never made it out. They got frustrated and they died. But Stockdale kept it. He was able to persevere and he came out at the end of the day. Now you can go ahead and Google that. We're not talking about the Stockdale paradox today. Now we'll just go on. I think the conversation is getting heated up and it's very, very much interesting. Now, if you have questions, you can just drop your questions in the chat box. May I also state at this point that we have a Telegram link that will be dropped that will drop in the chat box as well. If you are here and we don't have your email address, please drop your email. My team will pick it up and they will work on it so that you'll be in the email list. Well, so let's just proceed to the next question. And the next question is, now, has there ever been a time when your choice of career was unsatisfying? What did you do?
Wow, that's a very good question. And I wanted to mention, I like the point with the Stockdale theory. It's called Stockdale theory. I really like it because I think the particular point I like is the dates. And I think I'm not going to just, I'm going to answer the question, but I want to buttress that because I think dates and timelines can lead to frustration. It can lead to, and the truth is, if you allow that happen, you're going to give up. You're going to give up. So, like you said, it's better not to have it. You're convinced that that day is going to come, but try not to put that date as okay. This exact, and I know it can be technical, but some people can get away with putting on this day this is going to happen. But I'm sure the number less than those who don't. So I think at first and at best is best not to put a date. I actually really like that. So your question, has there been any time that I felt stuck in my career, right?
Yeah, your choice of career path was unsatisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of find it interesting that you were able to, call to the Nigerian Bar Association and you're, but in my head, I'm wondering, wow, this is a superhuman. So tell us.
Stuck in my career choice. So I have never felt stuck in my career choice.
Yeah.
No. But I have felt stuck within the journey of my career. There are certain times in my journey that I have felt stuck. And I think like I said, I think all those things were leading to the person I am today. So I think each season or situation in my life another aspect of me. So for example, it was while I was studying law that I discovered my passion for aviation. And it was true within the journey of law and aviation that I found my journey for the youth, because I felt, oh, a lot of people are going through the same things that I'm going through. And I mean, if I've gone through this and I've found the answer, I need to share it with somebody else. I'm the friend that if I go somewhere shopping and I find good sales, I'll go and tell all my friends, oh, this, or I find I'm overly excited about finding the solution to certain things, because I'm kind of like and I know a lot of people can relate to this, I'm a type A personality. And the thing about type A is that we like things to, like we want to do something once and get it. And if we don't get it, we get easily frustrated. We're goal driven. We're not really, it's not that we don't like to enjoy life, but it's more about goal achievement, career, just keep going and getting and getting and getting. So certain times in my life, I have gone to get and I didn't get the results. So, and I was like, but what am I doing? Why am I not getting this? Why is this happening to me? Okay, but I see this person getting these results. What is happening here? And once I find that solution, or whatever I find that is the answer to that situation, I want to share it with the next person. That's how I, like I said, found my passion for the youth. So I haven't really felt stuck in my career choice. These seemingly stuck situations, like I said again, worked out for my good, because it gave me time to get to know myself better, to develop myself. Like if COVID did not happen, there's so many ventures that I have going on now that I wouldn't have gone into if we were not stuck in the industry. If I was so busy, I wouldn't have had to do those things which I was called to do. You know, those stuck situations helped me to build myself, to improve on myself, to take a lot of self-analysis. There are certain things that I needed to work on. There are certain things I needed to do. I knew that I wanted to achieve certain levels of success, but I wasn't reading as much as I needed to. And there are places where you go to speak to people that are very intellectual. They're barely on the internet, to be honest with you. Most of these people are not, in fact, most times these people have people that are running that aspect. So they're spending a lot of their time. I mean, I can see in your background a lot of books. These people actually pick up these books and read. And you want to go into those situations with knowledge, with the challenge. You can't go to these situations with knowledge that they already have. You want to go there and have knowledge or expertise that is not what they have. You want to be a solution bringer. So whenever I haven't, like you said, the question, I haven't really felt stuck in my career choice, because again, the mindset that I have is that whatever happens actually works out for my good. That's the mindset I have in general. But I have felt stuck in certain situations. For example, if I was expecting a progress, so maybe I was expecting at a certain level, I'm supposed to be here. So I had felt stuck in that scenario, but within that stuck situation, I have diversified. So it now ended up working out for my good.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Now, you know, sometimes in life, right, everything is moving for everyone around you except you.
Good one.
I've been in that situation. I remember when I just finished school, right? I mean, secondary school, and all my mates literally went to the university, and I was asking myself, boy, what are you doing? I thought you were brilliant. And you know, that was a phase for me. And you know, so sometimes, like I remember a friend of mine, right? And we were talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? And when he told me that he was he attempted suicide. He didn't tell me this when it happened, not until like say this year, right? Now, what was happening was basically everybody around him, we were all moving ahead. He was literally stuck in one place. Now, the question is, how do you deal? Your friends are moving ahead, they are making progress in seemingly situations where you're expected to actually also make progress, but you literally not seeing that level of success that you want to see. How do you handle such?
See, when I got this topic, I was very happy because it's something I can relate to firsthand. I want anyone listening to this that feels like this kind of situation or has attempted this kind of thing to know this. you're stuck in the mud, you're not stuck in the grave.
Mm.
It's not that. Don't ever make your situation worse than it really is. You're only, about my journey. And I think that's why any opportunity that I have to be honest and just say it as it is, I really grab it. During my training, I expected to be done. My plan. The thing that you said about a date. So I had started dates when I started my training, like, oh, I want to be done in 6 months, blah, 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 blah. 6 months passed, I wasn't done. 1 year passed, I wasn't done. 1 year and a half, I wasn't done. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? And a lot of my peers, a lot of people that even came after me, it seemed like they had already gone ahead of me. And that was when I had that dream, about the truck and then seeing people on the journey. There was a lot then. I didn't even have the emotional intelligence or maturity that I have now. I didn't have that. So, and I didn't know what to do, honestly, I didn't. So I now somehow I came out of that situation. I went into another situation where I got stuck. Now, this time I had to find out, okay, because the thing is, there are stock patterns or stock cycles. A stock cycle is where you notice that, for example, some people say they have this near success syndrome. So that's a cycle. Understand if it's a cycle that you have that, or when I'm about to get to this certain thing, this tends to happen. So understand if that's what your issue is. Understand if there's something that you don't really know how to do. Maybe you know how to start a journey or start a process very well without planning. And like we said, inevitable challenges come and you're not prepared for them. So when they come, you just blow it out of proportion. Or that your journey is not another person's journey. Like I said, we have a lot of pilots and this is for example, you're a doctor, you're in any industry and you see a lot of things happening to those people. Good. Your journey is not their journey. You need to stop comparing. Stop comparing stop comparing your journey to another man's journey. In those times, what happened to me when I felt stuck the first time was I was comparing my pace in life, forgetting the times when I was the one going ahead and other people were feeling left behind. So now it was my time to see what it felt like to be in that situation. Right from when I knew and I think that was why it was really surprising to me, because I had always been like, oh, I'll do this, I'll get that, I'll do this, I'll get that. And for the first time in my life, I did it and I wasn't getting it. I was like, hey, what's going on here? And then after a while, I can look back now and say, okay, I was setting my goal I was setting my life goal or my journey based on somebody else's standards. For example, they have an expectation that you need to get married at a certain age. Who gave you that time? Okay, the person that created you, he tell you that is the time that you're going to get married. You've already set yourself up for failure. So, okay, some people are never meant to get married. The Bible says so. Not everybody that's the reality of life. Not everybody is going to get married. Some people are going to get married early and die. Some people are going to get married late and live happily ever. And some people are going to get married early, and everybody's journey is different. So try not to compare yourself or your journey to another person's journey. Be satisfied in your own journey. Go back. One thing I tend to do when I feel stuck is I just relax, take out time, and I don't take too long. Before I used to take a lot of time. I'll just go and just be in my corner and be sulking and self-pity. Oh, why me? Who did I offend? My village people, why this, why that? No, what I do now, take my time, relax, okay, and I go back to God in prayer. That's me. First thing, okay, God, what is really going on here? Like, what is really, and God is always honest with me. If I'm the one that is wrong, you tell me, Tinke, you're the one that is doing this. Or if it's the other person, he will say, okay, this is what is really going on. Then I'll go back and ask, okay, so what do you want me to do? What do you have told me the problem, but I'm not going to assume I know the answer, because if I did, I wouldn't be in the situation. I would go back and ask, okay, what do I do? So please, and I think that is why I share, and let us all be very generous with whatever information. Don't ever feel that the information you have is not valid. For example, this thing you said about suicide, trust me, and this is not to undermine this person's situation. I don't know what this person has gone through, But if this person knows that you're not the only person that has gone through this, a lot of people have and will go through this, and some other person who knows what to do shares it, this person may not make that decision. So a lot of times, please, whatever solutions we have, I know it's very fun to share fun things on the internet, but no matter how little, because people's destinies are tied to people. Your people, like a community may be tied to your own life. It doesn't matter where you are or what you think you are. You may even think that you may even just be a janitor in a company. Don't undermine yourself because of a position you're holding. People's destinies, and there's something you know excellently well. It might be submission. I don't know why that popped into my head right now. You just know when and how to submit to a man. That's what a lot of people are getting divorced over. Some people have killed their spouses because of that little thing that you know that you're not sharing. So if you're on the end where you may not know other things as well, but that little thing that you know, please share so that we don't keep losing the lives of the youths all around the world. Thank you.
Very, very much profound. Now, I would like to give the next 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes for questions. If you have questions, you can quickly just type your question in the chat box, or you just raise up your hand, and let's give room for 1 or 2 questions. However, while we're waiting for that to happen, certain things you said, you are stuck in the mud, not in the grave. Profound. You are stuck in the mud. As long as there is life, certainly there is hope. And part of what I've also gleaned from what you've said is basically at the end of the tunnel, when you literally have succeeded, you just discover that everything that you've gone through, the failures you've gone through, put together, right, is what makes up the success, whatever you call success.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you look back, you just discover that the failures put together is what makes up what you are calling success today. Because success is just a bunch of failures put together. That's the way I see it. So when you are literally failing, do not seal yourself. Do not just write off yourself. Do not write yourself off, right, when you're failing. It's just building you up towards where you are going to. Then part of what you said, do not compare your journey to another person's journey. Absolutely found. Do not compare your journey, because there's always this tendency for you to want to look at every other person and say, wow, we were born the same day, we went to the same school, we did this together, we did it. How come he has gone 10 steps ahead and I'm still here? Now, his journey is literally different from your journey. Yes, that's the truth. It's just different. So all you need to do is to understand your assignment, understand where you are going to. And literally, the deeper you go, right, in life's journey, the higher, surprisingly, you might just come out of it. Great. So I don't know if we have questions, if we have contributions, if you're here and you want to say something towards what has been, just want to add to it, you could just signify by raising up your hand, and we'll give you next few minutes to say something. Or if you don't want to say, you just want to type in the chat box, you can do that. Okay, there's a question here. Thank you, Mark, for sharing your experiences with us. My question is, how can one be inspired to start again or pull on in a stuck situation? Because the reason so many people give up is because they didn't see any reason to go on. Okay, that's a question for you, ma'am.
I actually, thank you so much, Faith. I actually like that you asked that question. And I want, when you're asking your questions, be as real and I'll be as open as possible. Okay, so I started I think sometime last year, I set up, as usual, I set up on certain ventures, and things weren't really going the way I wanted. They started off very, very great, and it just seemed like if I turned left, there was a problem. If I turned right, it was like, oh my God, like it didn't matter what I was doing, there was always something wrong. And at some point, I just was like, I don't even feel like trying anymore. I don't even want to do anything, whatever. What I now realized actually was, and I'm going to be a little bit spiritual. The devil was after my zeal. It wasn't the goal. It wasn't what I was going after that was the issue. He just wants to kill your zeal. That was a revelation that came to me much after. So he was just trying to frustrate me. There are certain people, that they've seen that you're very ambitious, including the devil. I'm going there. They see that you're ambitious. They see that you're driven. They see that if this person makes it to the top, that things are going to change. This person is radical. As in, just imagine if I gave up. The zeal, you see, now I'm so happy that I have, if you spoke to me maybe a couple of months ago, maybe early this year, I wasn't sounding this energetic because I almost felt, at some point I felt like I had given up because I was like, when I was giving my best, I was putting my energy, what results was I getting? I was doing everything that I was supposed to do, every single thing. And then at some point in my quiet time, I said, okay, wait, what they wanted to actually kill is my zeal, because they know if this girl should make it, she will scatter table. She will scatter the table. So Faith, I want you to know that what the enemy in this situation is after is your zeal. How you're going to get that zeal back, I don't know, because it depends on your situation. But you need to go back and ask why. Let me tell you, okay, when my friend died, actually, the period the person died, I had spoken to this person maybe 2 weeks before, and things, in fact, at this point, I was like, nothing else could go worse, please. Like I've had it, I've actually had it. And then I got somewhere and I got information that this person had passed on. I was like, this one is like from bad to worse, because this is somebody really, really close to me. And I just was like, I couldn't even feel anything at some point. It was almost like I was numb. But the truth is that I didn't create this person. So it is not me that determines the timeline of this person's life. I can't give up on my own life because that has happened. That's not even what that person would want me to do. You need to just, you go back and ask yourself, okay, why did I start? Okay, now if I give up now, so they will now say that they have succeeded. No, that's what they are even looking for. That's the opposite of your goal. Go back and set yourself, okay, why did I start this? What was the reason why? And it's beyond you. It's whatever success you're achieving is for your children, it's for your spouse, if you're married, it's for your generations to come. Your goal, remember that your goal is your success, whatever the success means to you. It's not about you or you putting money in the bank. It's the legacy and the opportunity to change the course of what your generation is known for or what your family is known for. You may be the person that's going to change what people know your family for. So now you say, the problem is good. Thank you very much. I went for Linda KG. She had a conference recently, self-made conference. So before the conference, she did, it was a physical event. She did an Instagram live session for 30. It was really brief, but I listened to every single thing she was saying. And she said, this thing called success that she has achieved today, a lot of people don't understand that. The same problems that you went through, they went through it too. Yeah. The only difference, she gave, and she said this first, she said the only difference between her and the next person is that when she got to those problems, she kept on moving. So a lot of people will say, in fact, if I tell you how I was listening to that session, I have this, because I understand that I can't give up. If I give up, I'm giving up to what now? I'm giving up to where I'm coming from. I can't give up. Giving up is not enough. It's not even on the table. What she said was, okay, this conference that she had, on the day of the conference, she now went back into the story. And she said, what happened was, years back, when she was trying to do this, conferences and all of that to inspire young girls. When her first conference, what happened was she was looking for support and all of that. I mean, all the banks, they wouldn't even let her go through the secretary. Nobody was giving her any support. So there was one particular person that she was going to get help from, but that day it was raining really, really bad. And you know how Lagos roads can be. Small rain like this, the whole place is flooded. Rain was entering this woman's car to her thighs. And the person that was sitting by her side was like, babe, are you still going to this place? Like, I mean, can't you see that the rain is really, it has entered the car, into her jalopy car, she said at the time. And people in the opposing traffic were telling her, how can you still be going? She continued on this journey, went to this person's office, and the person saw, even in the office, we were looking at, why are you wet? He said, it was rain, or that, the water entered into her car, there was no point, but she has already said this meeting and she came for it. And the person said, because you did this, I'm going to support you. Just imagine if she turned around then. These conferences and who we know Linda Ikeji to be now. Do you know how many times that babe failed? she was saying it on that day. It's so easy for you to see this success and think that it just was handed over to her. She said, God is watching everybody's hard work. And he knows that I give each person this 24 hours and they all are faced with challenges. But the one that will make it to that finish line is that person that doesn't give up, despite this. And the reason why people like Oprah, and she could even be, there are so many celebrities that I can talk about today. You think that the celebrity or the positions that they got or the money that they made, somebody just packed it and gave it to them. I mean, except trust fund babies, and there's nothing wrong with being a trust fund person, but that is not even what I'm addressing now. Challenges are inevitable. Don't give up. Find people that are energetic, that have ginger. Just being around them, it makes you energetic too. That me, what I go on YouTube, I'll go and listen to something that'll just ginger me, or I'll go, me sometimes, let me tell you, I will stay in one corner and I'll just pray. And I'm not praying passively, praying with, do something that will give you energy, that will keep your blood, the ginger is there. Once the ginger is there, oh yeah, what can I do today? What, just every single day, no matter how, even if it's just to call one person, oh, please, this product I'm selling, you get, try again, keep trying till that day, that fateful day, that things will turn around for you. Don't give up.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. Don't kill the zeal. As much as possible, if you can, as is often been said, if you cannot run, you walk. If you cannot walk, you crawl. If you cannot crawl, you roll. As much as possible, just keep moving. And you see, surprisingly, you just said something which I posted this evening, and it is from Joe Polish, and he said the first person is what, okay, let me quickly read that quote I posted this evening. He said the first person is what we think of as unsuccessful. The second person is what we traditionally think as successful. And there's something interesting. He said these first two people are actually more alike than they are different. The truth is, traditionally, successful people can have almost the same kind of business unsuccessful people have. So the truth is, there's the difference between the successful person and the unsuccessful person is just the ability to push beyond the wall. So literally, they go through the same challenges. So what differentiates success from whoever is unsuccessful is just that the successful person is telling himself, you know what, irrespective of whatever the challenge is, I am moving ahead. I think that's just the difference here. Now, Philomena, you're raising up your hand. Do you have a question or a contribution? You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, so Jaden is here.
How do you... Good evening. How do you overcome your fear to fly a plane? My friends always say that I should not fly a plane or else I will crash.
Hi, JD, you're super cute. The funny thing is, flying is actually, to me, is easier than driving. Let me be honest with you, because there are a lot of rules and regulations that ensure that you're. The honest truth is, when you're flying, you're not really thinking about the height. You don't even have enough time to think that you're at a certain altitude. It's not even about. It's like being on the car and thinking about the road. You're not really. Your mind isn't really focused on the road itself. It's on the skill that you need to perform. So as long as you follow through with your training, you keep reading. Reading is very important. You read like never before, but you read and there's nothing to be afraid of, to be honest. Fear, like they say, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's just like when they say Ojuju Calabar, but there's really no Ojuju Calabar. Same thing with flying. There's really nothing to be scared of. What you should be scared of is actually the fear, because once you allow fear enter into your mind, you lose a lot of the knowledge and the abilities and the skills that you have. You lose it because you're now in panic mode. So if you even feel afraid for any reason, for example, I went skydiving on my birthday. And in skydiving, you have to jump out of the plane. And now I'm relying on myself to sustain myself, and of course the parachute. I'm not really thinking about the height. I'm just thinking of the goal to get on the ground. So if you want, whenever your friends tell you that you're going to crash, tell them you're not going to crash. You're going to fly safely. and then just focus on building your skill to fly. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Thank you very much.
Darling.
All right. Thank you very much, Jaden. All right. So you just dropped your Instagram handle. Somebody wants to have your Instagram handle. Okay. So any other question? We'll be proceeding to the last question here, and maybe we'll just open up the conversation for those that want to have. We just make it open for other persons to speak. There are some persons here I see they've built capacity over the years, and I'll be calling your name just to say one or two things. Now, my last question is. People tend to forget their many wins and dwell on their failures. That don't give them, and dwell on their failures. They don't give themselves room to breathe good air, and that happens quite a lot. You know, you're just going on a roller coaster. Everything. I think, and you mentioned that, right? You're just going on a roller coaster. Everything seems to be so nice, and all of a sudden there's a roadblock, and you forget every good thing that has happened to you, and you start concentrating on what is happening at the moment as if it is the end of the world. How do you deal?
You know, the first thing that came to my the first thing that came to my mind is that because of the challenges or the stock situations, I've become so much more bolder, confident, assertive. This is not who I used to be. I used to be maybe the direct opposite of what you guys are seeing here today. But I always like to talk. Anytime I had the opportunity to talk or inspire or whatever the case may be, I always honestly like that. When you feel, when you feel like you're in a roller coaster, it's very easy, like you said, to forget, you know, the times that you won. And I mean, that happened to me when the first time I had the stock situation. I forgot about the times. You just remember, okay, this is, you forget, and that's something you need to actually remember, that you've been in situations that you've handled before and you came out successful. And that's why you are where you are today. Okay, if I was able to handle that seemingly difficult challenge that I thought I couldn't overcome, and I'm now here, so maybe I do have an ability to overcome challenges. So start looking back at yourself and giving yourself credit. Okay, you know what, I can do this. Yes, maybe this particular thing is seeming like a challenge, but you have to recall your wins. And most times we don't do that. And for example, if you feel stuck because of an employer, or you feel stuck because of a partner, or you feel stuck because of maybe parent, you feel stuck in your parents' house or something like that. And unfortunately, in this situation, this person is projecting a reality that they want you to think you have. So they're saying words to you like, oh, you can't make it. Oh, you're so stupid. It's very common now in our culture, you know, talking down and saying condescending things. You need to say, okay, actually think about it. Are you actually stupid? Because you know that you're not. I mean, I passed that exam. I did this. I was able to do this. And, you know, do things and think of things that that will make you raise your shoulder. And if in all honesty, this is where honesty plays its role. If in all honesty, what that person is actually saying is true. Okay, yes, so what? That's the reality. Then what can I do about it to change? And I'm sure, me in my own head, I'll say, you two, you have your own weakness, or you have your own things, or you have your own stuck situations. Now, maybe the person is telling you you're stuck at work, and you are stuck in, I'll put it back at the person, so that it's not defense, it's just to make the person also look human, or make, if for example, it's a human that's projecting it to me, so I'll be like, and maybe the person is projecting that, I'm stuck, maybe I'm not married, for example. You are not, you go, I may not say it directly, but in my head, I'll be like, you that you are married, are you happily married? At least I have time to prepare myself to get happily married. I'll deflect it so that I'm not in a victim. I'm not carrying that victim, because don't get that victim mentality that, oh, why me? Why this one has happened to me again? You see, babe or guy, if not you, who do you want to recommend to go through your problem? Who do you want to pass it to? It's you, because God believes that you have the capacity. And I think a lot of times we undermine our capacities as individuals. Honestly, I didn't know that I was as strong as I am. That's what, you know, when I talk about these situations, and the funny thing is, this topic that we're talking about, for the past couple of days, you know, I've been talking with other people with regards to situations like this. And I say, I don't have a victim mentality. I've become so strong. I didn't even know if I knew that I was this strong in past situations, hey, the way I would have carried myself. And that was how I knew that was because of what I went through. A lot of the people that we see, that we celebrate, the reason and again and again and again why. Okay, for example, if somebody is in an unforeseen or unfortunate situation, maybe, I don't want to use anything per se negative, but maybe you're on sea and the weather comes and you can't, or even me, there are situations where we're flying and we run into bad weather. I cannot do anything about it. But you now go back to the knowledge that you have. Okay, so I know that if I do this, if I do that, or this is something that somebody has done before and they were able to escape the situation, why don't I apply it? That's the time that you need all that knowledge. And that's why your time is very crucial. It's very important to be in communities that are sharing knowledge. Every single Thursday of my life since, I think I joined this particular community, I'll mention them, it's called AGS Tribe, and it means Assessing Grants for Startups. It's majorly a women-dominated community. But they have this thing called, it's just like Roundtable Talk, and that's why immediately this started. As much as at any time that these sessions are happening, and I'm available, I always tune in, because there's knowledge that is being passed. We're not wasting our time. It's information that is being given or shared, and that information is something that is going to, we have capacities who have achieved whatever level of success in whatever industry, come and share knowledge for a duration. Every single Thursday is a must. And there's nothing wrong with going to church. So this is the thing about religion now. I'm very, in fact, I don't want to mention the hours I spent in church today. That's a very important part of my life. But even the Bible says, study to show yourself approved. Is the knowledge, because the day of adversity will come. What you will now do in the day of adversity is the knowledge, because when those challenges, they will not tell you when that challenge will come, it will just come. But if you're vigilant, if you're sober, if you've been preparing your knowledge, okay, if I know that I'm going into a new workplace, and what are the similar challenges that I may, you're already preparing, you anticipate it. It's better to anticipate a challenge. Don't be like, oh, I know life is going to be perfect. I'm not saying life will not be perfect, but anticipation is key, because now you are not on the defense, you're on the offense. Okay, I know this is how this person is. I know how this company culture. Okay, you go into a company, go and find out what the company culture is. How do they treat people there? What are their policies? Okay, when they join this company, do people go to the top? Like, what is the trend in that company? How do they treat their employees? Do you tend to go home early, or do people progress and move into better companies, or are they stuck in that company and they don't make progress? That's your personal research. Okay, they've given you the employment sector, you've gotten the job, but that is something, going the extra mile to get this information, to get this knowledge, so that you're better equipped. So that if challenges that you can't control come up, you're not surprised. When we go for a flight, we mentally prepared that, okay, on one of the things we do in the briefing, I think it's something we should apply in life in general. We have something called a takeoff briefing. So the two pilots will tell each other, okay, this is what the day is like, the runway we're going to take off on. But in case of an emergency, we always say to each other, in case of an emergency, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to raise up the landing gear. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn left. I'm going to turn right. I had a situation where it wasn't a crash, no, but it was an emergency situation. And the captain told me, he said, okay, you know why? So now you see why, because in an emergency, you don't have enough time to start thinking, what am I going to do? If you not rehearsed that situation, immediately the situation happened. He just told me, okay, keep going, do this. Immediately we did this, and we came back and he said, oh, I like the way you were able to maintain composure. And the reason why I maintain composure is that we have rehearsed it over and over. For example, if you and your spouse always have issues, anytime, maybe at certain times of the month, it could be the woman, maybe when she's on period, rehearse how you are going to respond. Don't wait till that situation, then you now rehearse, because the truth is what we tend to do is what we have rehearsed doing in our minds, or we have watched and seen people do over and over and over and again. So now it's on automatic pilot in our brains. Set yourself now for success by rehearsing your success. Rehearse it. Rehearse how you want that scenario to go. Rehearse, okay, if I go into an emergency situation, this is what I'm going to do. If somebody comes here and talks to me rudely, how am I going to react? I was saying that to myself today. Say, because we know we have, you may be stuck exactly, you may be stuck in a pattern or a cycle of responding to people a certain way. For example, let me use myself. There are sometimes I pull my trigger a certain way and I'll respond to you and I was like, Tinke, wait, you really don't have to respond like this because if you do this, this is what's going to lead to. So why don't we rehearse this person doing this now, and this is how I want to respond, and do it over and over and over again, so that if I'm in that situation, I automatically respond the way I intend to respond, not the way the person wants me to respond. That's what I have to say.
Wow. Thank you very much. That's a lot. Now, I think the last part actually got me, right? Where you need to anticipate and prepare yourself for the troubled day. Wow, fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Just because I think I just wanted to quickly recap what she has said. She talked about recalling your wins, right? Prepare your mind for success. How does success look like? Prepare your mind for it and just walk your way into it, right? Now, basically, there are certain things we've said today that is forming a basis for the next 2 editions we'll be having, right? Now, I will bring in somebody on board and we want to talk about her trials and her triumphs. Now, this person is when whatever happens to this person happened, it was in the news. It was actually a national news, right? For those of us that are very, very much on social media, by the time I come up with the person's name and the story behind it, you will know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to disclose that. But she's willing to share her story. And when I saw what she was doing recently, I asked her, I was like, congratulations. You've been able to turn those, right? We talked about finding purpose in pain, right? That was like last month, right? And this is somebody that's literally been able to convert whatever she went through. And now she's just, I think she might not literally be where she actually wants to be, but I think she's been able to convert that situation into something worthwhile today. And I want to bring her on board to talk about it so that we can just literally take it up from where we have stopped today and continue there. Then you also talked about having to deal with, in the corporate setting or in the office setting, having to deal with angry bosses. I have somebody as well who is also willing to share, surprisingly. I know his story. He has literally dealt with, or he has been dealt with. He has had to be, in his last 2 employments, he has not had it funny at all. But I'm happy that today he's doing fine, right? He's also willing to share, and he'll be coming on one of the editions of the Roundtable Talk. So I just want you, for those on this call and your friends, I just want you to be expectant. We have so much in stock for you. Now, part of what you also said is, so you talked about the victim mentality. Profound. Now, I don't know if you have questions. If you have questions, Mr. Tony Ofodu, he's a colleague of mine, over 2 decades of experience in the sales and marketing sector, sorry. He's a strong man in the FMCG environment, FMCG sector. I want you to just say 1 or 2 things, but before he comes up to just say 1 or 2 things concerning what we have said, I just want to recap for those that joined us late. I just want to recap what Atinuke has said. Now, she has mentioned that if you are faced with challenges, the first thing you need to do is to relax, analyze your situation, take actions, be honest with yourself, make sure you, sorry, I can't see what I wrote here. I think maintain your energy. Then one thing that came up profound for me is no matter what you do to me, I will make it work for me. In fact, I am going home with that statement. No matter what you do to me, I will make it work for me. Now, we've also talked about when the fact that you are stuck in the mud, right, is not the end of life. You are stuck in the mud. You are not stuck in the grave. So there is hope. Now, your failures are a stepping stone to your success. And lastly, we talked about recalling your wins and do not have the victim mentality. All right, I've talked about the next editions of the Roundtable Talk that is coming up. Mr. Tony Ofodu, can you hear me? I just want to just make 1 or 2 contributions as we try to wrap up.
Yeah,
Affirmative, I can hear you.
Good evening, everyone in the house. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your network is literally poor. I think you can take off your
Yes,
video.
it's so good to be in the house, and it's a great privilege
Okay.
to be here.
All right.
In fact, I'm overblown by okay. Let me see if I'll be able to do that. How is it now?
Okay, I think it's much better now. I think we can hear you better now.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. I think what I will do is just an overview. Okay, I am speaking now. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Tony, we can hear you. We can hear you actually.
Hello?
Okay, I guess
I think the network is
I guess your
problematic.
network, yeah, the network is poor from your end. Can you
hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'll just do an overview of what my pilot has spoken about. Is she a barrister or a pilot or both combined? How does she cope with that?
Both.
She's a barrister and a pilot. I think she's actively a pilot. I think the barrister part is passive, if I'm correct.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, let me just pick one area of what she did say. I think it happens to everybody in life. Personally, I have my own experience, but I don't think if I start talking about that experience, that it will be over today. I think the most important thing for me, what she said was in terms, if you are stuck in the mud, what's the way forward? What is just the way forward? Because virtually everybody in life will be presented with that situation. So if you're stuck in the mud, how do you get out of it? I think to me, in everything she has said tonight, that's the most important thing for me. The way forward, you cannot take no for an answer. You have to move ahead. You have to relax. And what are the possibilities? What are the things you need to do to get out of the mud? I think this is kind of individualistic. You have to be positive about everything. If I'm stuck in the mud, what do I do? I think that is a point that each and every one of us will have to go home with tonight. We'll deliberate, we'll go over it and see how it makes sense to all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
much. My pilot and my barrister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. I'm really glad to have you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
I heard you clearly.
Hello.
All right. Okay, so do we have any other question? We are actually calling it a day. It's actually an hour. We just had to stretch it a bit. I want to first and foremost thank everyone for making our time to join us this evening. In the next few weeks, we'll be having another edition of the Roundtable Talk. And like I said, we'll be bringing another personality to share her story on the call. In the absence of any other question, I would like to say thank you and do have a good evening. Atinuke, from me and my team, I want to say thank you for showing up. Indeed, it has been an interesting conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you, man.
Thank you.